Mark, what's happening?
This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And here I am, folks, here in on October the 6th, 2023. And folks, here I am in Fredericton, New Brunswick, but I got the beautiful Toronto background behind me because I love Toronto. And I love the guest we have today because, boy, he's somebody I discovered 2 days ago, but boy, I'm going to be checking out a lot more of his stuff because he's got a voice here. Folks, he's the best damn roofer. That is my guess. The best damn roofer. Welcome to Python's Paradise.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. You know what? It's wonderful because I just discovered you because I landed a job in Toronto at the hospital there, and I can't seem to get moved there because of the whole inflation. I mean, here in New Brunswick, it's bad enough. In Toronto, it's even worse. And I, at the lowest, I could get maybe 2,200 for a bachelor apartment, which I'm sorry, even working at the hospital, I can't afford that, you know. And it's like the middle class is being pushed into lower class, and we're being pushed basically out in the street. And I know you can agree with me. I don't plan to live out in the street, and I'm certainly getting tired of a what seems to be a dictatorship happening, and tired of politicians who are treating their job like a photo op. And I caught wind of a video you did where they were trying to cancel you, you know,
Well,
and
they've tried.
up, and they're not going to succeed. Dusty Rhodes used to say to Ric Flair, "You cannot cancel the common man." You know.
No, the working man especially. I'm a roofer, and try to cancel a roofer. Who's going to do your roof? Your purple head child with gender ideology problems and 25 lip rings and tattoos on their forehead? Nope. You still got to hire me.
Well, some of these politicians got their nose so far up in the clouds, you know. Maybe the roof needs to be come off so that they have room to look over the side to see if there's actual people out there. You
You
know.
know what? These politicians don't care. They care about their paycheck. They're not working for the people. They're working for somebody else. And you can call me conspiracy theorist, whatever you want to, but they're working for a higher power. They're working for the globalists. They're attacking our society. They strategically made our value of our properties worth more by doing foreign buyers. So buyers came in and created the values of our
Mm-hmm.
millions. And then these people that own these homes thought they were rich. They equity go. They borrowed their equity over the last few years in the pandemic because they were locked cottages. They bought boats. They built additions. They spent their equity, and now that the equity is not there and the value of the homes dropping and the price of the interest rates and their have gone up, they've literally put nooses around everyone's neck, driving up prices of your
Yep.
prices for everything, groceries. And we're standing by. If people sit by and let this go on, it's not going to get any better. Like, we had to stand up, protest, do whatever you can to make your voice heard.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
And that's
know.
what I believe in.
Yep. Well, I want to get into a little bit of your background, you know, because I know I just discovered you, and I'm going to be checking out more of your stuff. I love somebody who's a rebel that goes against the current, and you're one
With
of
me.
those folks, you know. And I want to get into your background. You say you've been a roofer for a long time. Um, Talk about what made you want to become a roofer and how that spun into a social media personality.
I went to jail. So when you go to jail, it's the only job left until you get out, right? No, I'm just kidding. I started roofing when I was a kid, just working for a local company, cleaning up shingles, and it was a really tough job. I thought it was hell. Like, who the hell would do this for a living? And I just kind of stuck with it, doing it on the summer vacation. I do it during the summer vacation at school, and you'd work for the summer, and And just bored out work, I started making videos, and it turned into a production company that I own now. We do sales for several different companies. I'm a tool developer now for Primeline Tools Canada. I have a storefront in Toronto, therooferstore.ca. And our Big Time Productions is our company now. And we do media marketing for companies all over the continent. Like right now, I'm in Houston, Texas right now.
What's it like there?
So I just got off a live with InfoWars. I have another. We're really busy, so I'm full on marketing company, and it all just started with being myself and not being afraid what other people think. So I just do what I want and be free. Canada was a free country. So this is what happens when you're free. You get to be free, but they don't want you to be free anymore, and they're really pushing this new ideology where you don't have freedoms. You don't get to own a house. You don't get to own a car. Just have your cell phone, stare down, and shut up. That's what they want. And I'm telling people right now, if you do that, it's a selfish act. You don't think about your life. Think about your kids' generations and the next generation, your great grandkids. What's going to happen to them? You got to think of your lineage rather than just right now. We're living in the now, but you have to think of the future. These rich elite people, they have the future planned, and it's not going to benefit your lineage. It's going to be hell for your children and your grandchildren. That's a fact. And if you don't think so, just take a look at what happened in the last 3 years during the pandemic. They can do what they want when they want, unless we, the people, that's why it says it in the American Amendment, and we have a Charter of Rights where we have the right. We have the right as citizens of a country, a free country, to be free, and they are supposed to be working for us.
Yep.
These government and these politicians.
And it's funny because, like yourself, I worked through the pandemic. You know?
Me too.
I'm a cleaner. I do this for fun. I really enjoy doing my podcast. I've been doing it since 2015. And but I don't make money at my podcast. I do it because I enjoy it. But like yourself, I do a job that's essential, and it's funny because it's not looked at as essential by the powers that be. And I know you've been watching what's been going on. I feel bad because I love Canada, but boy, I don't like what's happening in Canada. The whole situation with the truckers convoy, when people's bank accounts are getting frozen. I'm sorry, but that pisses me off, and I don't agree with it, and makes Canada look like it's being run by a dictatorship, not a leader.
By Nazis, actually. They admitted to it. If you see in the recent videos, there are countries actually being run by Nazis.
I did hear about the whole thing with the convoy because I know people that were in those trucks, and
I was there too.
You were there too. Okay, what was the atmosphere like during this?
Well, I'm Mr. Freedom. People won't recognize me with the red paint and the fur coat and the flags, but I was Mr. Freedom. And I was down there for 3 weeks, and the atmosphere down there was good old Canadian people loving each other and desperate for contact with human beings. Like one of my the most memorable time there was a group of women from 60 years old to 80 years old. They were I went up, do you guys want a hug? And they were just so happy to get a hug because their grandkids wouldn't hug them. They're scared to hug their grandma because they're gonna get sick. Like they put so much fear in people. They literally push this fear. They paid for this. This is the paid agenda. This is you don't need if there's such a sickness out there that's gonna kill everybody. You don't need to pay for it on media to show everyone how bad it is. You would know already. This was fake. It was an agenda, and it was caused division in our country, and it was done by this elite group, this globalist group that's out there after our whole country. They're after every one of us. And if people don't wake up, well, it's going to be a long ride.
It's funny you mentioned you mentioned satanic there way back. What's funny, because I grew up in a Christian home and I read my Bible. What's interesting is that the mark of the beast seems to be getting closer and closer and closer.
If you look at Ottawa, the Ottawa symbol it's an O with the 3 flares, and all over their police cars, all over their parking meters and their benches, they have those O's that look like sixes, 666666666 on everything. If you look at the architecture of the Parliament, it's called Gothic Revival architecture. There's demonic demons all imprinted in stone in the parliament. This Western civilization is built on satanic values. Although we have Christian morals, these elites have always believed in the devil. The devil is real. And the smartest thing the devil ever did was convince you that he didn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting. My dad just passed away last year after
Sorry to hear
battling
that.
eight years of ALS. My dad was a believer right to the end, and I got to say, I envy him right now because he's in peace with the Lord. He's not down here in the spring show. I mean, our rent's going up here, and like I said, I would have loved to have lived in Toronto, and I can't even seem to make a go at that right now. And it's like, if you're in power, like, I don't know why these people, they make all these promises. Why not do something that's good for the people? Number one, affordable housing. We got people living on the street. And I remember I was downtown doing a clean one day, and I saw a new apartment building go up. And a person said to me, said, "Yeah, you know what the rent is for these places?" And she told me, and I was like, "How is anybody able to afford that?"
Well, how about we have accountability for the politicians? Imagine you get hired as a roofer and you don't
Mhm.
fix my roof and it leaks. But you don't have to worry about it. You're a politician, right? No accountability for what you do. So if we hire you, you do this, this, and this. If you don't do it, you are fired, right? I grew up in Niagara.
Mhm.
Toronto never had as many homeless people as there are now. I got a company that we're working with in Mississauga, and there's tent cities everywhere. And one of the most expensive places to live, there's tents everywhere. People can't afford to live, and no, people are turning a blind eye.
It's interesting you say that too, because in every time, and yes, I know climate change is important, but it
Climate
always
change doesn't
gets.
exist. Don't give me no.
Well,
I'm not going to pull that card with that. I'm going to call you right there. Climate change is bullshit. If these assholes actually cared one fucking bit about climate change, go bitch at China, right?
yep,
Go bitch at
they,
China.
they
Do
keep
you think that
bringing that up.
Do you think these? So who's been running the country for the last 170 years? Canada's government, right? Shouldn't
Hmm.
they be responsible for all the pollution? Not me, not as a consumer.
Hmm.
Climate change is a fraud. It's a scam. You can't tax somebody in order to change things. They should change their ways. It's not up to the consumer. They want to. I mean, I'm done with the climate change. I'm not doing that bullshit anymore. Go talk to India. Go talk to China. These people here are shitting out poison and then dumping it in their ocean. Meanwhile, in Canada, there's only 38 million people and there's 5 trillion trees. And they're trying to tax me for the garbage they're doing. Go talk to China. Go get some balls and go over there and tell them to stop doing it before you come here in my country and stop doing it. So climate change, I don't want to be an asshole, Gilbert, but fucking bullshit.
Actually, you know what?
100%.
Where I was going with that is that every time it's brought up to Trudeau, anything about housing inflation or rent inflation, that's what he comes back with. Climate change. I'm like, we're not talking about climate change. We're talking about rent and housing.
Well, here the last one, that last video where that guy confronted him downtown, and he's like, "Oh, you're getting your information from Putin." Well, no, you're not actually getting your information from Putin because you took that away from us too. We can't even get news from outside sources anymore, right? Like he just is a complete coward, and I just can't. I hate even looking at his videos. I can't stand this person and what he's done to our country. And I need Canadians to stand up and people need to start speaking out against these governments. We can govern ourselves. We don't need people govern. We're all adults here. We can govern ourselves. I don't need someone teaching my kid about sex. It's just they're attacking us in our core. They're literally attacking us physically and mentally. They're attacking everything they can about us, and everyone's falling for it. It's insane time to be alive, and we're here, and that's why I just never give up. I don't care what I say, what I do. If I hurt someone's feelings, good, because what you've done to my country, I don't give a fuck if I hurt your feelings. Good.
Let's talk about the bill that was passed, the censorship bill. Again, free speech is being attacked.
What's that? I didn't catch you there.
So free speech is being
Oh
attacked.
yes, very much so. Yeah, you got to have a license to have it. You're gonna have to get your podcast license. How fucked up is that? Right?
Yeah, that pretty much means I'm probably out. Thank
Well, I've been
goodness.
shadow banned on every platform. So I've been shadow banned on every platform for the last probably 2 or 3 years, speaking out during COVID. And the video that you got familiar with is actually out. It was actually videotaped over a year and a half ago. And it went viral a year and a half ago, but it went viral on Twitter when it wasn't owned by Elon Musk. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been bombarded with hate, death threats, everything else because I made a joke about taxing liberals more. But in all honesty, I wouldn't work for those fucking idiots anyway. They can eat a bag of shit. Do your roof yourself. Get your fat son who's transitioning with his purple hair. He can do your fucking roof. How does that sound? Uh-huh. How's that sound? And all roofers think like me, just in case anyone's fucking wondering. They all think like me. There ain't no other people in the roof industry. They're all like this. This is a cut and copied fucking mold of a roofer right here. Fucking the best one. I'm just the speaker of the house right now.
Absolutely.
Tell your fat ass kids that can't work and have to get your fucking ass wiped. Tell them to do your fucking roof. And that's the world we're living in right now. And that there's about to be a fucking rude awakening for these people. A very rude awakening.
I hope so, because with the way
I know so.
feminism and all this stuff is going, it's like right now it pisses me off. If so, it's a big attack right now because there's jobs that won't hire you if you're white and you're male. That's pissing me off too because I've always worked. And
there's always a job opening after roofing. I don't care what color you are. You're a roofer. We don't see color. We're colorblind.
Mhm. Yep. But it's like, they want to talk about racism and discriminate. Why is it okay to discriminate you if you're a white male? And first off, how is it mine or your fault? What happened with our
Canada was never a
forefathers
racist
did?
country. Like you grew up in Canada,
Yeah.
right? We weren't a
Yep.
racist country till the politics changed. Till Justin Trudeau came involved. Canada was a multicultural country. Always has been. Hell, the Underground Railroad, right? Pride always went on in Toronto, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've changed the way they've this liberal ideology is like an infectious disease, and they got their way into the churches, they got their way into the school boards, they got their way into the pride movement, and it's literally gone over the top.
So what do you think what do you think needs to happen and what do you think will happen?
Well, what needs to happen is everyone's got to stand up for their values and what they believe in, and don't be afraid to speak out because you're going to lose your job anyway. You're going to lose your house anyway. That's their goal. If you're a firefighter or a cop or a paramedic, do you think our country that's trillions of dollars in debt has a pension waiting for you? Do you think the rich people actually care about you? So if you don't stand up now, you are a coward as a father or a parent because you do not actually give a fuck about your kids. You are too coward to not stand up. You sit there and just, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay for you, but not for your kids. So get up, stand up. And if we don't do that, well, then welcome to hell. If you don't think this is bad already, it's going to get a lot worse. And if you don't think it's bad for you, it's going to be way worse for your kids. So my message to Canadians is stand up and the old Canadian values like we used to have. Tim Hortons and hockey, right? We used to be, we had maple syrup, Tim Hortons and hockey, and we never fought. We loved each other. We apologized all the time. Canadians didn't fight. And now every Canadian's fighting on this social media. Throw your fucking phone away. Be a fucking human being. Spend more time with your kids. And first of all, and last of all, say fuck the government.
Absolutely.
Time!
I love the video about you and the roofing, and that the fact that it actually gained you more customers, and they were leaving you like beer and whatnot. That was
happens all the
awesome.
time. That happens all the time. Customers really appreciate my point of view. And guess what? Now I don't have any liberal clients calling me, so I don't have to deal with their fucking stupid asses ever again. All my clients are really cool people that are like-minded, and I'm living the dream. And all these other fucking asshole liberals are living their shitty life looking for somebody to do their roof. And if they do find a roofer, the roofer's going to charge you more because he thinks you're a fucking asshole. Big time!
Do you have any of roofing stories, like really funny ones dealing with these people?
You know what? To be honest, I mean, I've told a few clients off over the years, but honestly, my clients become friends. I'm a really good guy. I'm a family man, and I'm a local. Our small town. My family's lived there since before Canada was a country. My great grandmother was the first white female born on the Niagara frontier, Rebecca Green Bigger. So we've been here just before Canada was a country. So you can't take that away from me. You want to try to give me a bad review. You want to try to hate on me. Don't matter. I have roots here. And that's why I'm so passionate about how I feel and what I say. And there's been a few people that left messages and tried to, there's videos out there of me calling these people back and all the banter. And if you want to look it up, it's the Best Damn Roofer on YouTube and
Oh,
Twitter.
I'm going
And
to, yes.
I called them lizards. So because if you call them liberals online, you get fucking shadow banned. So for me, I call them lizards. You're all fucking lizards, and I call myself the Lizard Slayer. So I'm
Yeah.
just getting warmed up. And I'm down in Texas right now. I'm going to the Ox Ranch and I'm going to be shooting tanks and flamethrowers and rocket launchers and machine guns. And you know what? If it doesn't work out in Canada, I'm transitioning right now. And that doesn't mean I'm going to cut my penis off. I'm transitioning to a fucking Texan. That means my penis is going to get bigger. I'm going to have a big eagle sitting right at the end of my tip. America. If I have to leave, I will. But I'm going to stand my ground and fight against these lizards as long as I can.
You mentioned Niagara Falls earlier. I'm going to be there at the end of the month for Frightmare in the Falls. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I lived here in New Brunswick all my life until 2017 when a Canadian actress invited me to my first convention. And it was the first time I was ever on a plane. It was the first time I'd ever really been out of New Brunswick, save for PEI. And I loved it, and I fell in love with Toronto. I just wish that things weren't an arm or a leg cost to do things nowadays, and that's what's scary. It's like I was doing a building clean whenever I got word that you guys were willing to connect with me tonight because I hadn't heard last night, and so I rushed over here to do this because I knew this was going to be
I appreciate
important.
that.
Yep. No, and I appreciate it too, because I know you're on a tight schedule, but it really kind of freaks me out what is going on. And I wish the government would just do the right thing. Doesn't it feel good to do the right thing for people? It does.
It does. And that's why I do what I do because I know I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah,
I know I'm
absolutely.
doing the right thing.
So
Feels
when are we,
wonderful.
when are there going to be politicians following that footsteps?
Well, they're following the greed, the money. They don't listen to their heart. They listen to their wallet, and that's the problem.
Wow, I don't know. So anyway, you want to plug your YouTube channel and all your social media on here while you're
If
here?
you Google best damn roofer, it'll come up. I'm like a genital ward, eh? They try to get
Mm.
rid of me time and time again, but you can get rid of me. But when I come back, it'll be worse than the last time. Big time.
How many times have they gotten rid? What happens when you lose your YouTube? I actually had one of my interviews got pulled because of misinformation on health, and it was because a guest and I had a general conversation about the bug. And I just basically asked what it was like in her section of the world. Like you're in Texas right
Yeah.
now. I don't know what it's like in Texas right now. It's like, no, what's it like there right now in terms of what's going on with the pandemic? And it was a general conversation. We weren't telling people to get the needle or not get the needle.
And that's how you know it was propaganda, and they're
Yep.
coming after you. Can't It's freedom of speech. They're attacking your if you can't speak out about anything, that's they're attacking our fundamental rights. That my grandfather went to war for this. And if people, the thing is, people lost respect for that charter rights. They didn't have to fight for it, right?
Well,
So
look,
when you have to fight for it, you don't care about, oh yeah, well, it'll always be there. No, your rights won't be there. You have to fight for your rights, right? And it's about time we have to stand up and fight for our rights. And we're
well,
doing that on a daily basis. You're one of 7 podcasts I'll be on today. I was shaking hands, meeting people. I'm all over the place. I'm constantly working, getting people riled up to fight for your rights. And if we don't do that, if everyone doesn't do that, if you don't think our rights are important, well, then you're a lost cause. You're going to hell. But if you know in your heart and you're doing the right thing, then you get up and you stand, and you speak loud, and you stand up for our fundamental rights that our forefathers fought for. Because if we don't, the future is going to be fucked.
well, look what's going on with Russell Brand right now. And
And he's a
people are
rich man.
forgetting they did this with Johnny Depp, and then that turned out, nope, it was Amber Heard. But and yet Disney now is trying to kiss his ass, and he's not going for it. But you mentioned, of course, we talked about the whole mark of the beast earlier. I think the only way things are going to get fixed is when Christ makes his second return. And yes, I'm a believer. I don't care who doesn't want to hear that, but I am definitely a believer. And
I'll tell you right. I pulled my kids out of the school board, my younger two. I have they're in grade 1 and 2, and I pulled them out and I put them in a Christian school. Only right there.
I don't understand why people like whether you're gay, straight, or whatever you are, why does everybody else have to know? Like, I live in an apartment building here. I don't know what sex or what they're into or what anybody in this building's into. I get up, I feed my cat, pay my bills, I go do my job, whatever recreational stuff I want to do, and then I come back home.
Yeah, let's go tell some children in public school about your sexual manner, right? Like, I mean, why do we have to tell kids about sex? Period, right? The only thing that should we be teaching in a public school setting: no sex, no politics, no religion. It's fucking simple. Go back to
Mhm.
fucking learning to make these kids able to work in the future and in society. Right now, we're making kids they can't work, they can't do fuck all, and we're literally destroying society. Like, society's being torn apart and people are they're helping do it. They're part of it. So my standpoint is I'm not letting it happen, and it's not going to happen to my family. So I'm going to teach my kids to believe in Christ and find the faith and teach them that there's an evil entity out there.
Well, I was born in 1972, and let me tell you, the school system back in my day and what I'm hearing of what it is now are two very, very different things. And I know my folks would not want me learning about sex in grade 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. I didn't start learning about French until grade 3, and I still don't know that, you know?
Still didn't want to learn that either, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
when
I
you
admire
turn
people.
13 or 14, you'll figure sex out. French, you might need some lessons, but sex, human beings will figure it out. Just like your cat and dog, it's natural. There's a divine creator. We don't need to be taught. You already know. We've already
Exactly.
been created. The creator did it for us. You don't need some libertarian teacher with purple hair and 17 face earrings to tell you the way it is.
Yeah, that seems to be it. You mentioned music. Talk about your music a little bit on here.
Well, Best Damn Roofer is actually like that's my name, and I'm actually a musician. So if you look me
Mhm.
up, I have a plethora of music. We have more songs coming out. I'm the #1 selling roofing artist in the world. I might be the only one, but I'm #1 big time.
Yeah, what's your most popular song?
Actually, the one I wrote for the Freedom Convoy, it was called Freedom.
Okay. Okay.
That was a lot of people don't know, like they won't. The Best Damn Roofer and Mr. Freedom are two different pages on social media, right? But the song Freedom is a very popular song amongst the Freedom Convoy. Everybody knows what it is. So that was one of our most popular. But Roofing is Fun is a close second. It was a song that I wrote to confuse people in order to hire them, thinking roofing is fun. And when I hire them, they're like, "You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar, big time. You're a liar. Roofing is terrible." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up and just sing the song and work." You know?
Well, you know what? You do a job that needs to be done. And, I agree with you 100%. I don't push my views on other people, and I hate having views pushed on me to the point where it's affecting my daily life. I don't care what people do behind closed doors. Don't make me have to acknowledge it. You
Damn
know,
straight.
that's how I stand with that. Skittles there stands with that too. Actually, he's
Your
laying
cat's name
down.
is Skittles?
Yeah.
That's my cat. My cat passed away. I called him Mr. Skids for short, but it was Skittles was my cat. I passed away. He was a great cat, Mr. Skittles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's a rescue and he's been my buddy for so long.
Can I see
But
him?
yeah, you just
Maybe it's my
oh,
cat because my cat ran away. I don't know if he's actually dead. It might be my cat. Skittles?
just a minute, I'll get him.
Skids. Nice, beautiful view of the libertarian city, Toronto, with the erect penis-like building called the CN Tower there.
Skittles!
Oh, Skid. Hey, Skids. How you doing, bud?
Skittles is like,
Holy.
hey, you're
His
using me
head's
for hit.
his head's disappearing in the in the green screen.
Skittles, your head's disappearing.
There.
There you
There he is. What a
go.
beauty. Big
My
time.
buddy.
I'm like a real life Bubbles. I love cats, right? I'm a kitty whisperer. If anyone's at home, I
Yeah.
breed cats. I got the best cats going.
You know, I love the Trailer Park Boys. When are you going to get on one of their shows?
I don't know. I think they're. They've never asked me to go on. I think I'm a little over the top for those boys. They're a little too corporate for me.
Really? Because they did a movie called SwearNet, and everybody in the States were talking about The Wolf of Wall Street having the most profanity of any movie. Well, I got a news flash for them. SwearNet, the movie, and I think it's because it's Canadian, it's not acknowledged, had 935 F-bombs in it.
You ever? I've had a video last week. It was 13 seconds long. Probably had close to that, buddy. They have big time.
I
I really.
absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Well, you know what? Keep fighting the good fight,
I will,
and
brother.
I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to put you on the roster for next year because next year I'm going to have a better idea of your channel. I'm glad I discovered you because, like I said, I'm just getting so frustrated of not being able to move forward in life. And there was no reason I can't just go to Toronto and work at that job. And why it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to do it. It's like, come on, stop with this, And when you got three families living under one roof in one room, I'm sorry, there's a problem there.
There is a problem.
And you
Well,
got
be vocal and keep telling people and keep talking about it. Get people up in arms about it. Not up in arms, but I mean like arms.
yes,
Gotta be careful what
I
you say nowadays, right? We're not even allowed to have guns in Canada. So what am I saying, right?
well, I don't own a gun. I'm not against gun. I just don't have one. I like to take people as face value. Be good. And if you're not good, then fuck off and leave me alone. That's my thing. If I'm doing a clean and I get a message the next day saying there's a work order for that, I go do it. And some of it's petty bullshit, but I go and I do it. And then I go home. Like, I don't understand why that's a big problem for people nowadays. I lost a job earlier this year because some fucking asshole was greenlighting me or gaslighting me.
Gaslighting me, yeah.
Gaslighting me. And I never missed a single day of work at that place. And I got 9 Bravos, but yet this little piece of shit wanted me out and
That's the
found a
thing with
way to
this day
do
and
it.
age. They'll cancel. Some people put it online. The left will gang up on you, and especially on the social media platform where these people hide behind these screens. That's why I said get loud, get vocal, make friends, get out there and speak your mind, right? And that's what we have to do. And you can tell people don't be afraid to tell someone to fuck off.
Well, you know what? I'm getting to be a lot more about that because I'm getting tired of people. This guy was a big shot when he was around other people. I haven't caught him by himself yet. You know,
Well,
it'd be
you
like
get
that.
there.
Like that old steel cage match I once saw between Andre the Giant and Kamala. Kamala was a big guy, big strong guy, but I remember this particular cage match. They had a couple. When Andre was coming up that ramp, Kamala turned and tried to climb out of the cage. Well, that's what's going to be like for this guy. He's
Oh yeah. You know
turning.
what? You should do a cage match for your fucking podcast. Bring the guy in there and fucking give him the old fucking choke out. You know?
Actually a
Some
DDT.
of these guys on social media just start going into a cage match and getting their aggression out like real men they used to, right? I mean, it's a good way to make people respect each other a little more. That's what martial arts do, right?
Well, Uwe Boll used to box his critics, and he wasn't boxing people that didn't like his films. He boxed the critics that trashed his films without seeing them, and he never lost. He would box them, and it's funny. Some of these people, I'd like to take them into the ring too. I know a few because at the job that I lost this year, there was a couple of 3-day weekends. I'd get done an overnight shift, and the number 17 come up both times. 17 people calling in sick on a long weekend. Right, they're really sick.
The old Colombian flu.
Yeah. And yeah, I got terminated. I'm fighting it too. but I'm very, very pissed about that, because it seems to be the harder you work, the more oppression you get from assholes.
Yeah, true enough. Well,
Yep.
keep doing what you're doing, buddy. I really appreciate you having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to being on again in your in the new lineup. And next time I'll bring my guitar and I'll play a couple songs for you, and really give you the tour of who I really am.
I'm going to be listening. I'll have more of an idea of your material next time I come on here. Like I said, you caught
You
my
might watch all my
attention.
material and not want me back on here.
Oh, you know what? I'd love to have you back on here. You know, I mean, I say go for it. Like, I got nothing against it. Look, I don't care who a person votes for. I don't care who any of that. But I do care about how people treat each other. You know. Yeah. Well, before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Sure.
Just state who you are and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
It's big time here on fucking Greg Gilbert's fucking Python Paradise. And most girls already know, if they know me, they've already had my Python Paradise. Big time.
They don't want my pythons, but
You'll get there.
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Keep the faith and keep up the fight.
God bless you. Big time.
Take care.